Pistons hosting the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
Oh,
3 for 3,
wait,
but
wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Whoa.
well, it was a
Whoa.
butt whooping. It was a butt whooping.
What is it? Hold on. Man, wait. Are y'all sure Orlando's the AC? Yes, Orlando's the AC.
Hmm.
This is the frustration that I deal with during this season. We are not a typical AC. I need
Well,
people
they
to understand that when they sit here saying, "Oh man, this is not an upset. We are not supposed to be an 8 seed."
it's an upset not from the talent standpoint of the Magic. It's an upset from the letdown from the Pistons standpoint.
And I don't even agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, because
Basically,
people don't be because
basically a team
people
like the
no
Pistons who
people look at 1-8, then they look at the records. Oh, that's an upset.
mm,
Y'all
mm,
don't pay attention to
mm,
basketball.
I'm not looking at it that way. People are talking about the Pistons as a team that's too physical, that dominates the boards, that gets after you, that wears you down.
And guess who also plays a similar style?
And I was going to say that. What happens is I think people slept on the fact that Magic can play that way as well. So that's why I say I don't consider it an upset from the Magic standpoint. I consider it an upset from the standpoint the Pistons simply got outplayed.
And if you idiots out there want need proof, go look at a regular season match and we split with them. We know how to play against Detroit. If
It was
you
proven
if
in
you
this
really
game.
pay attention to people, the real basketball analysts will tell you this is the worst possible matchup Detroit could have. Because you're
And the
going against
way
a
they
team who
played.
that are not afraid of y'all. They plays the similar style that y'all, and they have more scorers than Detroit. That's why people y'all don't understand the frustration in Orlando. We supposed to be a top 4 seed. Hello, did you not pay attention to Cole?
Yes, sir.
Detroit never led in this game.
Right.
They never
That
led in this game.
that's why I cannot fix my mouth to say, well, it's an upset because we never seen the Magic play like this. I can't say that because I have.
That's why he been so giddy for me to hurt and get on him, but I had to keep pushing it back.
Hmm. This is a team that I even said they should compete for home court the first round. So this was not. And I agree with you. This is not your typical 8 seed. Let's be honest. The Magic wet the bed the last third of the season, last third of the regular season, and that's why
And
they're
I
in the
laid
eight
out
seed.
for you what happened. Because y'all, yes, injuries happen. Yes, Franz got injured. Yes, all injuries happen. No,
Hmm.
you know what the real problem was outside of injuries? The fact that the best player on the team, who's supposed to be the leader of the team, and the coach like to go back and forth in the goddamn media. If
Hmm.
y'all two dummies don't get it together, it's gonna be a big problem. And look what happened. They hosted Charlotte. And what did they do to Charlotte?
Roasted them and got them out the paint.
And then they go to Detroit and what they did to Detroit.
Well, they didn't get them out the paint yet, but they roasted them though. They basically played the way the Pistons play, only better. Just
I
being
mean,
honest, they played the Piston style, only better.
because we played a Piston style. That's our brand of basketball.
Hmm. Because people were raving about how the Pistons were sort of like a throwback to bygone era that they lead with defense, they lead with rebounding, lead with physicality, and yes, I love that. But I was seeing that with the Magic too, and I'm like, the only thing they're missing is the cohesion of having that number one guy be, not saying they don't have it. I'm just saying just wasn't there often. Like a Kay Cunningham for the Pistons.
And let me give you a little behind the scenes look. I can't tell you how many times this man has messaged me when it came to my Magic, and I had to refuse to say something
What?
because he knew I was feeling some type of way about my own team.
Hmm? For a minute.
And so when y'all got that flagrant foul last week, that was a combination of everything that took place during the season. Because I know what this team. This team is not an 8 seed. This is not 8 seed team. Look at it. You see Pablo on there. What 23, 9, and 4. What else do you see on that screen?
Many players scoring double digits. Actually, all five gave you at least 15, which
Technically
that's impressive right
16,
there.
but I put 15 because that's what people want to see. But technically 16.
That's why I said at least 15. Yeah, but yeah. Um, so you do simple math, that would be at least 75. But they scored more than that. That normally is a good output for a starting group because it lets the bench play their normal game. And normally when you have the starter score that much, the bench free strokes. Oh, and that's what happened in this game.
I'll do it to you like this: take out 20 points. That's from the bench. The rest of it came from the starters.
Yeah. So
The starters accounted
that
for
should tell you
92
something.
points.
Starters gave you 92 points. That should tell you something right there.
Guess what? For Detroit, Kay Cunningham, 39 points. 39 points. So that tells you how the rest of the team did. So don't be surprised that Orlando did this. I'll tell you that. You can be surprised from the standpoint of how the season ended for Orlando,
Hmm.
but you will see the frustration that us Magic fans have. Cause guess what? Guess what? Guess what the conversation was on the show with the Magic. Where was this all season? We know what type of team we got. Why I ain't do this consistently?
Because they're young. That I can answer that question. They're still too young. They still haven't figured it out yet, and they still don't trust themselves enough to put this together for a long stretch. Now they have the heat of we don't play cohesive four times in a 7 game series. We gone. So you got that heat, and they know how that feels because they had a 7 game battle 2 years ago where they were right there with the Cavs, but a shot didn't go in game 5, and that basically was the series for them. Uh, so they know what it is like to have this, okay, we got to win or we go home mentality. I think they trusted a little too much that, okay, we can do just enough to get in. Well, you almost did just enough to get out. And normally that could, for a team that talented like the Magic, that might be the spark they need.
Just Detroit will bounce back,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
I
they
don't know.
did set a record though: 11 straight playoff losses,
No, 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 no. 11 straight home
home playoff
playoff
losses,
losses.
which is not good.
Yeah, they haven't won. If I'm not mistaken, they haven't won at home since the conference finals in 2008. I think that's right.
2008,
That's
2008,
crazy.
and every time Detroit made a run, guess who made a run right back?
Yeah, yeah. I would say that. That's. I think that's what took the oxygen from the Pistons. Once they started to make a run, the Magic answered with a run of their own immediately.
If y'all would have did this consistently, we wouldn't be in this position. So, Detroit, how are you going to respond? Because you know you're going against a team that can do exactly the same things that you can do, and actually do it better because they have more scoring option. Unless Duncan Robinson, you want to turn back to the Miami Heat, Duncan Robinson, because 9 points ain't gonna cut it. Jalen Duren, you let Wendell Carter Jr. outman you in the paint. Jalen Duren gave you 8 and 7. You know what Wendell Carter gave you, Mr. Johnson? 17-7 with 5 dimes. And yes, the boo took to Twitter and said, play the song. She's still working Orlando while she's in Atlanta. Tobias Harris gave you 17. I ain't mad at it. That's Tobias Harris. That's cool. But can somebody want to come help Cade Cunningham from Detroit? Otherwise, y'all getting bounced by the Orlando Magic, and then y'all not gonna like the blowback that's come from this if you get bounced by Orlando. Now, me and Cole, we won't be surprised if Orlando win this series because you idiots didn't do what you're supposed to do in the regular season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everybody would be stunned. Oh my God, Detroit got.
Detroit, and here's another thing: Detroit's still young. They can still be had. That's not been talked about.
But these people here, though, I need y'all to fully understand the game of basketball before you speak. Orlando shouldn't even be in this position. They didn't do what they supposed to have done, so they had no choice but to be in this position, which is the worst possible thing for Detroit.
You know what's funny? When I saw the final score of this, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't like, "Whoa, what happened here?" I really didn't have that feeling. I had more of the, "It's about time the Magic showed up," and I mean that was really the feel I had. It was about time they showed up, and how did they keep the Pistons at bay? And then, of course, then when I dug further, I was like, "Okay, I got it." So they basically played more physical than the Pistons, and whenever the Pistons started to do a run, the Magic cut them off and did a run of their own. I was like, okay, well, that meant the Pistons wasn't they were going to be going uphill the whole game. Okay, well that's cool, that makes sense. And this is another thing, and I think this is probably what probably upsets you when people say, well, this is an upset because Magic are an 8 seed, the Pistons are 1 seed. The Magic weren't supposed to be doing this type of stuff. They ain't supposed to win, much less by double digits. This can be replicated by the Magic. This effort can be replicated. This was not such a fluke where it's like the Magic shot lights out with they all went 60% from the field or 15 or 20 from three or had 45 free throw opportunities. No, this can be replicated. Now, do I think the Pistons can bounce back? Yeah, they will. But what the Pistons have to concern themselves with is, okay, so this is not your typical 8 seed. And we had issues with them during the regular season. So we got to treat them as if they're a tough opponent. And we got to find a way to get 4 wins to get them out of here.
But Orlando, good job. You stole home court from Detroit. Now, can you follow it up and take the other one from Detroit?
All right. The Pistons must act as if home court matters. Um, I I'm going to be blunt. Yes, the Magic took that game, but I also think the Pistons took the Magic lightly. And I think there was a little bit of them that thought, oh, this is 8 seed. Our competition really is the Celtics in the conference finals, and quite possibly the Cavs in the quarterfinals in the conference semifinals. So we can handle the Cavs or the Raptors. So our our trajectory is good until we get to the conference finals. They got caught looking ahead, and they got humbled as they should have. So they got to defend home floor, and now they got to have the mindset of they got to take the next 3 games. You heard me. You heard me correct. They got to take the next 3 games. They got to go to Orlando, take both those games so that they actually can make the Magic say, wow, so this is a real contender. For the Magic, duplicate what you did Sunday. Be more physical, be more man than the Pistons, and play your game. You do that, you'll take this game too. You'll take this game Wednesday, and then you'll fly back to Orlando for the weekend up 2 games to none, and you could shut them out. I mean, you can eliminate them and get them out the paint with 2 more dubs in Orlando. But it's imperative that you play your game and that you defensively make it tough for the Pistons like you did Sunday. That's a must. Now, for the other game, I'm sorry, the Suns don't stand a chance. Um, uh, the Thunder are too deep. The Thunder are too strong. The Thunder are too lengthy, and the Thunder still are too hungry. I think they want to prove they are the kings, not just the champs. They want to prove they're the kings of the West, which means they want stiffer competition. And I'm going to be blunt. The next round, the Lakers nor the Rockets present them as stiff competition. They can steamroll both those teams. So, the Suns, you basically are just a glorified. With the Thunder, we're going to see maybe 3, possibly 4 more glorified scrimmages because
Okay.
that's what you're presenting. I know you're an NBA team, but the Thunder just are another level. They just are. They just are.
Orlando, get greedy.
I love that.
Get greedy.
I love that. I love that.
Don't settle. Oh, we got the one that we needed.
Right.
Get
I love
greedy.
that. I love that.
Even if you lose, even if you lose, make Detroit work for the dub.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, you got history on your side. They haven't won a home playoff game in 18 years. So there you go.
Make them work for it. Make them spin them out. Make that trip to Orlando unworthy for them. Like I don't even want to go down to Orlando. Make them. I don't even want to go down to Orlando, man. I'm tired. They fighting us. They beating us up. That's what I want.